Hello, this is Christopher Gelson, the director and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated. Our website is protectyourchildren.org. Protectyourchildren.org. I want to take a few minutes today and talk to the parents and guardians out there about the importance of spending one-to-one time with your kids. We've been contacted on several occasions about situations where the parents are not spending one-to-one quality time with their kids. And because of that, the kids have gone online or even went outside the family to try to get the attention from other adults. And of course, this puts them at risk of being molested and or kidnapped. So what we have is, we get it. Parents are busy. Okay, their parents are busy. We know there's a lot of stuff going on. But there are a lot of parents who can spend time on Facebook, watching football, other sports, having a couple of beers, relaxing. We can always make time for our children. And if we're not doing that, then what happens is the kids perceive that the parents do not value them. Because the way kids see it is that if a parent is willing to spend quality time with them, then that means they love them. Now, I know and we know that you love your kids no matter what. But the way kids perceive it is if you spend time with them, that means you love them. You're paying attention to them, that means you love them. So you could be buying them all the stuff in the world, making sure they've got 3 meals a day, they got clothes on their back, and a nice bed to sleep in, and a big TV to play games on. But if you're not spending that one-to-one time with them, if you're not going places with them, and it doesn't always mean money. I mean, you can go to a park with them, you can go for a walk with them, you can read with them, you can play board game. I know that's a dinosaur thing, right? Board games, right? But you know what? Kids still love board games. Believe it or not, they do. And if you get them away from their video game system for a little while and say, hey, let's play a game together, that sends a message to them that you value them and that they are important. So when you spend one-to-one time with your kids, their self-worth increases, their self-esteem increases. And if they have a higher self-worth and a higher self-esteem, they are less likely to go online and look for attention or go outside the family to look for attention. They're also less likely to join gangs. We know the statistics. The stats are that most kids that join gangs and get into trouble with the wrong crowd usually are missing a parent in their family, or there's a parent that does not pay attention to them, doesn't have time to spend with them. And we're not talking about hours here. I think if you took one evening a week for an hour or two and dedicated that for your children and said, you know what, this is dad son time, this is mom son time, or this is mom daughter time, or dad daughter time, this is only our time, and you put it in that agenda book, you put it in your planner, nothing gets in the way of that. You spend that one time even with them, and it will make a huge difference in their lives. Because what we see happening now is kids are spending more and more and more time online. They are getting all this attention and affection, if you will, from their social media accounts and from their online games, right? They're so hungry for someone to say, hey, you did a great job. Hey, you look good in this. What else can you do? Hey, I can show you how to do better things. We talked about that in the last video, about some of the tricks and traps that online predators set for kids. If you missed that video, you can see it on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/protectyourchildreninc, all one word, Protect Your Children Inc. We're very thankful that video has over 3,800 views. So if you take a few minutes and check that video out, then you can learn how to protect your kids from online predators. So, and I'm not looking down on parents. We're not looking down on parents here. What we're just trying to say is that you've got to make time to spend with your children. You've got to spend that one-to-one time with them. And you say, well, I got multiple children. Well, what do I do? Is there something wrong with saying to your son and then saying to your daughter, hey, you know what? Let's just you and me go do something for a little bit. And then maybe later on in the week, right, you go and spend one-to-one time with that other child, right? And then, of course, you do things together as a family. When I personally was a kid, it didn't matter what kind of family situation you had. At 5 o'clock, you were home. You were home for dinner at 5 o'clock, and you ate dinner together. You may not talk to each other, but you know what? You were there at 5 o'clock. to have dinner because that was something that families did together. We've gotten away from that today too. So what you have is, here, I'll give you your food, go ahead and eat that, and the kids, just go back to their rooms and they sit on their game systems for hours and hours and hours, and that's the attention that they're getting. My question to you parents is, who's giving them attention online? Total strangers, most likely, right? And then when your child is out playing in the neighborhood and they feel like their mom or dad doesn't value them because they won't spend time with them, and some other person, man or a woman, is hanging around and starts to pay attention to them and compliments them, they're hungry for that attention. So they will start to communicate with that person and look to try to get attention and affection from those people that they're not getting from mom or dad. So you see, it's very, very important. I'll give you a quick example. There's a trampoline park in the area where we are located, and I take the kids there, and the amount of kids that come up to me and start talking to me and saying, hey, watch me do this flip or watch me do that, just start talking to me out of nowhere. The other day I had a 6-year-old kid just come up and push me in the ball pit. And I'm thinking to myself, where's your parents? Right? And I can't sit there and talk to these kids. I don't know who they are. But these are kids that are hungry for attention. They just want someone to pay attention to them. And the parents are there. They're sitting, down at the tables having a soda, sitting on their phones while the kids are playing. See, this is the kind of stuff that has to change. Parents, you have to be involved with your kids. You can schedule the time. It's so vitally important. And I'm not belittling how busy it can be and how stressful life can be. I understand that. We as an organization get that. But there's nothing more important than spending that one-to-one time with your kids. They're going to grow up. And when they grow up, they're going to be gone. And that time is going to vanish quicker than you can imagine. And there's tons amount of kids who have resentments against their parents because they never spent time with them. You got a mom who's spending all this time with her boyfriend and little tiny bit of time with the kid. How do you think that kid feels? That kid in his mind says, you know what? Mom wants to spend time with the boyfriend because he's more important. She values the boyfriend more than she values me. And we hear about these stories, right? Take a daughter who just wants to hang out with her dad for a little bit, but dad doesn't have time, but dad's got time to watch sports. He's got time to go hang out with his buddies, but one-to-one time with his daughter, well, maybe we'll get to that next week, honey. How's that daughter feel? So now she's going to go out and start looking for a man to pay attention to her because her own father's not. So this is the importance. We want to reduce the amount of predators that are out there. Yes, we do. But we can never eliminate them all. That's the downside of the internet, right? We're not going to eliminate predators from our streets. Unfortunately, that's just what we have to deal with in life. So what we have to do is attack what the kids are feeling inside. Attack what makes them vulnerable so that they are no longer vulnerable. And one of the things that you can do is spend one-to-one time with your kids. I want to encourage you to check out our website. Again, it's protectyourchildren.org. We have a lot of great free resources there that can help you keep your kids safe. And also, we need volunteers to help out in several different areas in different ways. Some of it you can do right from your home. If you can check out the ways that you can help the cause, we'd be greatly appreciative of that. And together, we can help stop kids from being molested and kidnapped. Thanks for watching.